Part 2, time for the hot tags of the week. A couple of stuff to talk about. Nothing really that huge. One thing, WWE writer Adam Rudman left creative after apparently 6 weeks. That sucks.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-bum.
By the time the ink dries on the contract, you're leaving. I don't know. Maybe it just really sucks there. Maybe he just didn't want to go on the road or something like that. I don't know.
It is a
Maybe he
tough
was
life.
abusing kittens.
It's got to be real tough.
I mean, those guys travel just as much as performers, and they also got to rush back to the offices in Connecticut in between. It's not an easy life, and then not to mention you got to deal with all those backstage personalities that they have.
Yeah, and not get any of the fucking credit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and when everything's bad, who's always the first to get blamed?
Right. Creative sucks and all this other kind of stuff. Yet somebody
Mhm.
cuts a good promo that creative wrote, and it's like, oh, that guy's such a good promo. Fucking, you know. What I mean?
Although, arguably, there should be, you let guys be themselves, and there should be less,
Yeah. Less
scripted
soap
holds on-
opera people working
Yeah.
on this in the first place. But let's see.
Well, one thing that was said about this guy is that he actually was developing relationships with the stars and was taking a lot of input. Perhaps that could have caused him to get some heat on him.
Yeah, no doubt.
Maybe you step outside the box and you try to do the things the way that you think is going to be done, and if it's not the company way, then fuck
And
you.
you rub everybody the wrong way, and you're pretty much fucked.
Zack Ryder. Another thing, Sunny is leaving prison, and she apparently had cancer, and now that she's gone with that, she's starting a new book, moved, wants to have a fresh start and all this. The only main reason I'm talking about this is because for time period, Sunny was on like every freaking hot tags.
At least once.
Right, yeah, for all the other problems she had. So at least it's good to be reporting on something positive in her life. But there's not really much to talk about. Hey, if you want to do that,
Made that book do well.
Right, if you want to do a book review, let me know. Mark Henry,
Is this book going to have a centerfold?
That's the only way she's going to sell anything.
To be fair, though, do you really want to see a centerfold of her at this point?
Last I saw her, she was still looking pretty good.
I don't know. I just saw a Kayfabe Commentaries video she just did, a U-Shoot DVD she did not too long ago. She don't look too hot. I'm just saying.
No, she probably didn't have any makeup on.
Mark Henry might return as a babyface. I'm not.
Should not be a babyface. I mean, ever since that 2011 run, he should be the straight up Hall of Pain heel till he retires.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's his shtick.
I'm not a big fan of the idea of him coming back as a babyface. I think if you're going to turn any of these like monster heels babyface, it needs to be Big Show again, because Big Show
can play the goofy, lovable giant.
Yeah, and it's kind of more, not like necessarily more believable when he loses to somebody, but I don't know. With Mark Henry, there's something about like his body shape that I don't buy when somebody beats him if they're a heel. And they're not somebody that much bigger, you know what I mean?
When he's the Kool-Aid man.
Yeah, it's because Mark Henry looks just more believable as a guy who can beat you up.
He's got that whole Neanderthal frown all the time too going on. I mean, the guy just looks like he just wants to kick people's asses.
Yeah. Whereas Big Show could pull off the big oaf, the dumb,
Yes.
you could see him as just a friendly sidekick. You can't see that with Mark Henry.
There's his new name. Well, it's the Big Oaf.
Big oaf.
Come on, everybody thought that about him at least at one point.
Right.
I still think that about him.
Yeah.
Brian still thinks that
about. Two other things, both NXT related, with Curtis Axel. They're renaming one of the NXT people. His name was Axl Keegan, and now he's Mickie Keegan, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. That makes sense. With a name like Axel, it's not like John, where people are like, oh, we can have a ton of Johns. How many Axels can you really have on your roster? Especially when it's not even the guy's real name. Mickie Keegan sounds kind of stupid to me, but I don't know anything about Keegan, so maybe he's going to be one of these people that gets released in the first place.
Maybe he's an Irish wrestler.
I had no idea this was going on.
So they come out and feud with you over his Lucky Charms.
Don't joke about that, Burhan, because they might actually do that.
Tag him up with Hornswoggle.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I still say they should have gone with naming McGillicuddy Axl Curtis. Curtis Axel just seems backwards. Axl Curtis sounds like at least a tough guy.
I will always keep harping on this. What is wrong with using his real name at all? Because they can't license it?
I'm guessing it's licensing issues. Because if he goes over to TNA or something, since it is technically his name, he can still use that moniker. I think they want to protect it so that he can't go over to other places and make money off of it.
You know, most people who watch TNA probably know what's going on anyway, so they're still going to know who he is. But I will say Curtis Axel is a way fucking better ring name than Michael McGillicuddy.
Right.
I mean, how far are we going to reach with that kind of a name?
This is the moment.
The genesis of McGillicuddy, which I will mention right now, is starting at this very moment, precisely at the beginning of the first dawn of the century.
The other NXT thing, Bo Dallas beat Big E Langston to win the NXT Championship, and
yay!
To me, Bo Dallas might have some potential in the future, but they seem to be throwing a lot on this guy, and he's really young.
Yeah, he's
younger than I am, I think.
He's born in 1990. He'll be turning 23 tomorrow, I believe.
I'm older than him, apparently.
Yeah. So this kid, I can say that now because I'm 2 years older than him.
Yeah.
I'll be like, this 1987, you weren't around, and that means you're a fucking little whippersnapper.
You're a kid.
Right.
Yeah.
To me, you got to give the NXT Championship to the other people. I mean, I still don't get, like, why don't you give the NXT Championship to somebody like a Justin Gabriel or something like that, who's not doing anything in fucking...
Well, Cassius Ono. Wouldn't mind Ono getting a bit of that.
Yeah, Ono would work, or... what's the name of that one fucking guy? God, I can't think of his name. Let me get that.
Mason Ryan.
Connor.
Adrian Neville.
No. Batista 2's not ready for it.
He was NXT champ at one point.
Yeah, he's gonna get
He was
released.
FCW champion.
Oh.
Yeah, Mason Ryan's getting released. That's fucking gonna end.
Batista 2.0.
Don't say that because I know exactly what I know. A certain company that wouldn't mind having a Batista knockoff in their company.
What are they gonna do? Tag him up with
Richie
English.
Richie Steamboat. That's what I was thinking of. I couldn't think of his fucking name.
That wouldn't be I wouldn't mind that. That'd be actually pretty cool.
Leo Kruger seems like he's pretty good. I'm hearing great things about Bray Wyatt.
It worries me that they have a character on a guy on their roster with the last name Kruger, because somebody stupid backstage is gonna bring up the fact that he's named after a character from Nightmare on Elm Street, and then Vince is gonna be like, "That's your next gimmick."
You'll be Freddy Krueger.
It'll be a slash.
Yeah.
I hope
they're
that,
gonna put him in some,
they put the belt on Dallas so that his brother can actually get called up to the main roster.
As long as they don't put it on Mimo Montenegro. God.
Not a name.
That'll about do us in for the hot tags, and after this we're gonna go into all of the all of the Extreme Rules pay-per-view review and results, starting off with the pre-show. Miz and Cody Rhodes in part 3.